From 2004 to 2007, Kobe Bryant went on one of the most breathtaking scoring runs in NBA history.
Here's a video game, Jordan.
He dropped 81 against the Raptors.
There's no scouting report for Kobe Bryant.
65 on Portland and 62 points in just 3 quarters against Dallas.
He was playing chess while everybody else was playing checkers.
At his peak, he averaged over 35 points a game and even had 4 straight 50-point nights. It was basketball so beautiful that it made grown men cry. Kobe had no weaknesses. No defense could stop him. But here's the crazy part. Despite all of what I just said, the Lakers not only missed the playoffs once, lost in the first round twice, and Kobe never even came close to winning MVP or a championship during this stretch. This is a story of Kobe's most forgotten stretch, a period of time where he made scoring look like art. June 15th. 2004. The Detroit Pistons, a franchise who hadn't been relevant in the NBA since Kobe's idol and mentor, Michael Jordan, was battling against them back in the late 80s, were the team who held the commanding 3-1 lead coming into this NBA Finals battle. A spot which, thanks to their rivals, the Los Angeles Lakers, not only having the most dominant big man of all time, Shaquille O'Neal, and superstar shooting guard Kobe Bryant, plus adding one of the greatest defenders ever in Gary Payton, as well as elite power forward Karl Malone over the offseason that nobody thought they would be in. To make things even worse, with the Pistons' continued shutdown of LA throughout Game 5, it was in fact Detroit, not the heavily favored Lakers, hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy. A failure which started a massive shift throughout the NBA.
The major headline around the league tonight, the Los Angeles Lakers and Miami Heat have agreed to a trade that will send Shaquille O'Neal, one of the greatest big men of all time, to sunny South Florida.
Why couldn't Shaq and Kobe coexist?
Personalities, just their different personalities. I think they both have a drive to be the prime mover, the prime person. I think Shaq said, I'm the big brother, Kobe's the little brother, and without really knowing Kobe, and Kobe wasn't going to be anybody's little brother. And he just said, I'm tired of being his sidekick.
But this wasn't the only seismic shock.
I won't coach this team next year if he is still here. He won't listen to anyone. I've had it with this kid. Here's another excerpt. I sometimes think Kobe is so addicted to being in control that he would rather shoot the ball when guarded or even double teamed than dish it to an open teammate. He is saying to himself, how can I trust anybody else?
With the Lakers front office firing the head coach who had just guided them to 3 straight championships and bringing in former 2-time title-winning leader Rudy Tomjanovich, a clear direction had been set by the franchise. Kobe Bryant, thanks to what he had shown as the squad's sole focus during O'Neal's recovery from injuries during the 2002-2003 season, in which the then 24-year-old managed to drop at least 40 points in 9 straight games.
What did you learn about yourself during the streak?
That I could lead. Since I've been in LA, I've always been in a position where I defer to Shaquille. And for me, it was the unknown of whether or not I could step to the forefront and put a team on my shoulders. That's something that was a mystery to me. I think it was a mystery to Phil and a mystery to my teammates. But that was a point in time in the season where Phil felt like we needed an adjustment. And he came to me with that challenge, and I was able to respond and deliver in some big moments for us. So I call it a special ops mission, where Phil just basically told me to go into enemy territory, gather the intelligence, and then come home.
Kobe was clearly ready to take the reins of the franchise who had traded for him on draft night all those years ago. However, doubt that this was the correct decision prevailed, with critics pointing out Bryant's selfish nature.
The guys were complaining. Said, Shaq, Kobe's not passing the ball. I said, I'll talk to him. I said, Kobe, there's no I in team. And Kobe said, I know, but there's an in me in that.
And stating that Kobe would never be able to win anything without his former running mate.
I read a story where Shaq said that I couldn't win without him. Once I saw that, I was like, okay.
You were done.
Yeah, we'll see. because, you know, I felt like I had a lot more in there. And you know, I wasn't going to retire without knowing if I could have.
Perhaps LA's decision was the wrong one. Therefore, fueled by all this doubt, Kobe just doubled down on what had earned him 3 championship rings by the age of 23.
You know, I trained my butt off this summer. I mean, I really went pedal to the metal. So conditioning-wise, I'm ready. I prepare myself every game, so I'm ready for that.
And whilst watching Quentin Tarantino's film Kill Bill, the now 26-year-old began to form a brand new identity.
The Mamba mentality. He knew I have to create something that is just super deadly and like nobody want to with it. Like when you even talk about it, I'm like, I don't even want to talk about a Mamba snake. The idea of what a Mamba snake is and the personalities of a Mamba snake. And for you to decipher that and break that down and say, I want to be a snake.
Silent killer.
People don't like snakes. And I know y'all don't with me. So I'm going to embrace that. And I'm going to be the Black Mamba.
But without the 2 key pieces which had seen him earn early success, could Kobe Bryant actually achieve his championship goals?
Winning is the ultimate goal. You know, that's what we all aspire to be as champions. And hopefully we can get back there.
Or were all the doubters right? November 26, 2004, Los Angeles, thanks to their new focal point, 28.1 point average, and 41-point night against the Orlando Magic, which included Bryant doing this.
Kobe Bryant can take over.
Held a 7-win and 5-loss record heading into this matchup against the Sacramento Kings. However, after giving absolutely everything to win by repeating his jaw-dropping athletic feats,
Bryant now isolated on Christie. Wow, that is impressive. Not many players in the league can do that, ladies and gentlemen.
And recording a 13-point final period,
Bryant shakes free. I don't know how you stop him. Well, you can't stop that. That's just a great player making a shot.
which brought his total to 40, the Lakers lost. Yet, it wasn't this failure that gave Kobe more fuel. No, that was a fan.
You can't win without Shaq. Okay. I had no response, right? So I had to just bide my time until. But I remember that fan, he was in Sacramento. I do. Sat right behind the scorer's table.
But as his first ever battle against Shaq approached, and O'Neal saying that if his former teammate drove at him, it would be like a Corvette hitting a brick wall, was this fan right? Would Kobe really win nothing without Shaquille O'Neal? Christmas Day, 2004, Kobe Bryant, who began his night with a beautiful fadeaway, was clearly on a mission to dominate Shaq and his new rookie running mate, Dwayne Wade.
And thrown away, but a foul on his way to the basket. Yeah, and a little talking. In
fact, it was thanks to Bryant that O'Neal was forced to sit out for the remainder of their battle, and with the young Wade missing a game winner, sending the game into overtime, and the Lakers holding the basketball with 3.4 seconds remaining to try and grab a vital victory, this was finally Kobe's chance to show who was the better player.
And Eddie Jones. And Jermaine Jones to inbound. Bryant gets doubles. Kobe Bryant. Amazing that it didn't go in the way with his history and all of the drama and this whole day. And so for Kobe Bryant, he has the one chance at the end. Can't make it go down. And Shaquille O'Neal and the Miami Heat have won 11 straight games.
A devastating failure that only saw the disbelief in Bryant begin to appear in those around him.
You know, I hear players, you know, especially my peers, they'll say, well, you know, he's only this good because he plays with Shaq. And if I played with Shaq, I'd have 3 rings. Or if he leaves Shaquille O'Neal, he'll never win another title. And you hear this type of stuff coming from your peers.
That bothered you?
I don't like that.
Yet, while the Black Mamba avenged this failure in their following matchup against the Toronto Raptors,
Distribution of scoring. And Kobe
by dropping 48 on their heads, things were truly starting to head downhill for not only Kobe, but the whole Lakers franchise.
Here in this first quarter. It's been inspiring, Morph. And look out. Kobe, yes, holding that right ankle. Bryant. Now this is the scene midway through the first quarter. You see Kobe being helped back to the Laker locker room.
With Bryant forced to sit out for a month, his franchise had not only lost their superstar, but their head coach due to health complications, as well as their hopes of a championship, let alone entering the postseason. Even with their leader doing some shocking things upon return during the rest of the 2004-2005 season, such as scoring 40 points in just his second game back, or doing this against the Charlotte Bobcats.
The time we was in Charlotte, whoever our coach was at the time, he was drawing up the play. Kobe just like kind of like wiped the board real quick. He was like, "Hey, who the f want to be part of history?" And everybody was like Lamar was like, I want to be part of history. Like, he's like, all right, you take the ball out. I'm gonna get open right here. Throw it to me. Everybody run like out the tunnel. Game.
Bryant for the win.
The Lakers' record was in freefall as Kobe finished his first solo campaign by only winning 2 games of their final 20. Bryant sat on their bench in one of their final games, deep in thought.
He just like stood up. I was processing all that because they was like, booing him.
That's it for Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant out.
And everything, he was like, I'm gonna win another 3-4 titles, and I want to win a championship in this building and in this arena. And I was just like, damn, like this, like him being wired like that in that moment. And we was getting our ass kicked probably about 25, 30 points, but just him just like tapping in, and he's thinking like, I see chips, and I gotta remember this, I gotta add this on for my motivation during my process.
While the pain of Bryant not receiving any All-NBA honors, neither offensive or defensive, the first time this had happened since 1988, stung. The reality that he hadn't even managed to bring the franchise, who had gone all in on him, into the playoffs, let alone the finals, hurt Kobe even more. However, there was some positive news on the horizon, and that positive news is you're gonna subscribe to Out of Bounds right now. Thanks.
Kobe and I worked out a pact. This time, let's cooperate and collaborate.
Life is short, okay? And you can't go around life carrying baggage. You can't go around life carrying resentment. You just can't do it, it's too short. You know what I mean? So you have to forgive and move on. And he's come here to help us get back to the top. He's come here to coach me and to support me, and he's communicated that to me. So who am I to judge somebody to not forgive him and to move on?
With the return of head coach Phil Jackson, Los Angeles now had the right leadership in place. But did they have the talent? Was Kobe really good enough to be the #1 player on a team? And even if he was, could the Lakers really provide the supporting cast required to get back onto the ultimate stage of basketball? Coming into the 2005-2006 season, the now 27-year-old set some clear goals.
And the 2 things that I wanted to accomplish, these were goals of mine, were for us to improve as a team and to get back on first team all defense. Those were the things that I really was like really focused on. The MVP stuff that doesn't mean a thing to me. At the end of the day, it's all about championships.
And his new relationship with Jackson saw Bryant shift his mentality towards leadership.
You go through life's trials and tribulations to learn, man, to become a better person. I'm more of a big brother now, as far as mentoring some of my teammates and being compassionate, having compassion for their mistakes, or not hitting big shots.
Combine the re-addition of Phil with their drafting of high school phenom big man Andrew Bynum and the signing of point guard Smush Parker, LA was making steps towards improving their team. But could bringing back their former leader and adding a high schooler really make a difference? November 2nd, 2005. In what was becoming standard Bryant fashion, Kobe opened his new championship campaign exactly how you would think.
Now Kobe Bryant sidesteps a defender.
In fact, throughout their first battle of the fresh season, Bryant was so dominant that Denver literally had to send triple teams.
Their biggest lead here with about a minute having been played in
the Black Mamba's 25-point night had earned the Lakers an opportunity to steal victory.
6 seconds, Kobe Bryant.
This is going out.
Bryant with 2 seconds. Bryant fakes, now hangs the jumper up, and we go to overtime.
Yet, unlike his failure against Shaq on Christmas Day, Kobe, after a 6-point extra period, got another chance to correct his mistake.
Covers with 6 seconds remaining.
Give it to Kobe Bryant.
He's got it now. Kobe for the win, hits it with .6, and the Lakers have a 2-point lead.
Lamar Odom with the biggest grin on his face that he's had in a long time.
6 tenths left, remember. Here we go. He's got Leonard, the 3 in the air. And the Lakers get out of town with a 2-point overtime win.
But things are about to get even crazier. Because over the next 4 battles, Bryant would go on to average a shocking 35.3 points per game. Yet, with Kobe struggling during the following 2 matchups, scoring just 17 and 18 in losses versus 76ers and Grizzlies, the Lakers' record stood at just 3 wins and 4 losses. Therefore, the 3-time champ knew exactly what he had to do. Subscribe. November 16th, 2005. With the New York Knicks in town, Kobe was desperate to get his squad back on track. But after suffering a hand injury in a recent battle against the Atlanta Hawks, which he still scored 37 in despite the injury, and clearly still struggling throughout their night versus New York, perhaps the Black Mamba wouldn't be able to lead his squad.
Kobe thought he was going to shoot, but he regained it and hits it as the shot clock expires.
No, it's Kobe, of course he did.
Watch where he shoots this ball from. I mean, this is ridiculous. There's no way.
In the third quarter alone, Bryant's 18.
Kobe gets in the paint.
And eventual 42-point total had led his franchise back to the win column. A victory, and thanks to a 30.4 point, 5.1 board, and 4.8 assist average over the next 12, that started a positive trend. However, many began to question how effective Bryant really was, because at this stage in the season, 20 games in, the Lakers star was averaging 26.4 shot attempts per game while shooting a relatively average 43% from the field. To make things worse, doubters were only given more fuel to their critiques thanks to Kobe pouring in a shocking 46 points against the New Jersey Nets, but was still unable to get his squad over the line. Yet, as LA headed into their first matchup against the team most believed would be playing in the NBA Finals, the Dallas Mavericks, Bryant was desperate to shut them all up. As Kobe had his reasons for attempting this many shots.
Yeah, I just do whatever is required, whatever is necessary. You know, I don't want to go out there and score 50, 60 points. I don't want to go out there and shoot the ball 5 times. I just do what's necessary.
And as the night was rounding out, Los Angeles desperately needed their star to hit a couple of more shots to keep them on their playoff path.
3 seconds left. He wants some isolation to work with Brown.
Down to 3 seconds. Kobe lost a dribble. In a hurry, he has to pick it up. Desperation 3, my goodness. Kobe Bryant puts the Lakers up by 2. A miracle 3 goes in after he nearly turned it over.
That's what the Lakers want.
Now the worst scenario here for the Mavericks is it's a 3-point game. This is a 1-possession game, regardless of what happens here. Will the lead be 1, 2, or 3? That's the question. No timeouts for the Mavericks. They throw it down the baseline. Daniels gets it into Jason Terry behind the back dribble. Terry will stop. A straightaway 3-line drive. No, tipped outside. Daniels.
Dallas, angered by their failure against the lowly Lakers, entered their next matchup just 8 days later seeking vengeance. But the Black Mamba wasn't going to let that happen.
Kobe will get it. Over Daniels. Another three. Kobe puts the Lakers up by 10, 50-40 at 32 points and counting for Kobe. The statement for his teammates. Kobe off the crossover. Got it again. Now Kobe for three. I don't believe it. Incredible. 95, 61. Adds to his career best. 62 for Kobe.
Hey, I take it back. He is good, but he has more than Dallas has.
Not only had Kobe Bryant just outscored a whole team by himself, but he would say something shocking to former teammate and now assistant coach Brian Shaw as the team prepared for the final period.
Phil Jackson asked me to go ask Kobe if he wanted to start out the fourth quarter and see if he, to try and get 70 points. And he looked up at the scoreboard and we were up, like I said, 30 or whatever. And he said, nah, I'll get it another time, when we really need it.
Christmas Day 2005. This time, battling on the Heat's home court, Kobe attempted to steer his squad past Shaq. However, this holiday matchup ended in almost the exact same fashion as their last. With Bryant's failure to tie the game, the first domino in what was the Lakers season starting to unravel had fallen. Because while Bryant had dropped 45 in their next game against the Grizzlies, he was ultimately suspended by the NBA after taking revenge against Mike Miller.
I was at the free throw line. He's like, man, I'm gonna get your ass back. Right. First play he got back after getting stitched up, I drove through a no-look pass. He about took my esophagus out.
Ooh, man, that's a hard. That's gonna be a flagrant one. There's the payback right there.
It hurt more than anything I've ever gone through because it was right there on the ad. Like it hurt.
It hurt.
And I had to bounce up though because I had to act like I was a little bit tough.
Yeah.
Without their superstar, Los Angeles' record would drop below 500 at 15 wins and 16 losses. To make matters worse, as they faced city rival, the Los Angeles Clippers, in Kobe's second game back from the NBA Naughty Corner, he was struggling. Nothing seemed to be working for Bryant, heading to their locker room at halftime, having only scored 10 points on 2 of 12 shooting. Yet, as he returned, the echoing boos of Clipper fans
are booing.
Sparked something inside Kobe.
Really? Oh, so that's how you're gonna play it. You gonna do this? Okay, fine. It became personal with me.
Bryant's vicious second half opening dunk that was followed by a flurry of beautiful to watch baskets.
There's no scouting report for Kobe Bryant because he's worked on all deficiencies. Mm-hmm. So anything that you could try to force him to do, I got to counter for that. Okay, you want to take that way, I got to counter for that. And you can take this out. Okay, this is what I've been working on. There's no scouting report for Kobe Bryant.
Plus, him doing this towards the end of the game.
Kobe Bryant, he's gonna put it up, you just know it. He'll drive into the paint, shoot off balance, bank it in. 11 seconds to go, 50 for Bryant. Lakers lead 110-109.
Not only saw the Lakers leave victorious, but Bryant's 48 in their previous game against Allen Iverson and the Philadelphia 76ers had seen the Lakers return to a positive win-loss record. Yet Kobe Bryant's season was only about to get even more insane. January 12, 2006. After the Black Mamba had dropped 45 on the Indiana Pacers and then 41 against the Blazers, Kobe was preparing to face the incoming face of the NBA, LeBron James, and his Cleveland Cavaliers. However, Bryant wasn't ready just yet to hand over that title.
Bryant going, and James. You can see Kobe's eyes lighting up when he realized the man back was LeBron James.
A battle between the two stars, which was a delight to watch.
From Bryant, played well by Newell, shoots over him, and scores at the buzzer. Battling the clock, here comes James.
But with Kobe once again suffering a hand injury and the Cavaliers rapidly extending their lead, could the three-time champ really carry a squad out of here victorious?
You see LeBron James covering Kobe.
These are the type of moments that I live for.
Down to 7. Bryant. Yes. And clock and the shot clock. Bryant putting moves on James. Here's Bryant. Yes. He had a foot on the line. It's a 2-point shot. Cavaliers is called for time. There's James putting the move on Bryant to the fadeaway. Not able to hit at the buzzer. The Lakers come away with a 1-point victory.
Yet, what was about to happen next may literally never happen ever again. Kobe Bryant, while he had averaged 40.8 points over the next 4 battles, after scoring 51 against Sacramento and 37 versus the Phoenix Suns, but losing, entered their next matchup against the Toronto Raptors, once again desperate to push his franchise back in the win column. In fact, he was so hungry to achieve his championship dreams that as the halftime buzzer rang, Bryant had already scored a jaw-dropping amount of points. Yet, this played right into the Raptors' game plan.
So he was high, he was on one. They were a bad team.
Yeah.
Overall, they were a bad team. So we was like, let Kobe get his and don't let the other guys beat you. He has 20-something the first half. Like, cool, we doing our job. We are 15. Keep doing what we're doing.
But instead of shifting gears, the Black Mamba doubled down.
I was just determined, just locked in, just tuned in to what was going on out there and just blocked everything out and just zeroed in on being more aggressive. For me, it's about the W, and that's why I turned it on because I felt like we were a little lethargic. So I just started going full bore, and it just turned into something special, and I wanted to keep riding the wave to try to demoralize our opponents.
You could literally not only see, but hear.
The shot no good, and up the ladder goes Devin George, now to Kobe. Still 6.5 to play in the third. He pulls up for a 3, yes!
Bryant's shift in mindset. Also, I will forever love watching Kobe and hearing the snake call for the ball, rather than him being like, yo, I'm open, or clapping, or whatever the is. Goated. However, it wasn't just victory that motivated the Lakers star, as in his first ever NBA Finals in 2000, playing against the Indiana Pacers, Jalen Rose had purposely stepped underneath the then 21-year-old, resulting in Kobe having to sit out of Game 3. So, seeing that same defender now in front of him wearing a Raptors jersey, Kobe Bryant was relentless.
I think it was Lamar who whispered to me, he said, you can't get 60. Like 60. So that's when it kind of, set in a little bit.
Away from Elgin Baylor's Laker record. For 3 again, yes!
Well, there's 70.
Everybody wants it to get into Kobe's hand. Kobe guarded by Mo Peterson. Kobe pump fake for 2. Kobe's got the Laker record. Kobe Bryant, 28 for 46 from the field. This would be 18 for 20 from the line and an 81-point game. 55 in the second half.
Kobe, a player who had entered the NBA straight out of high school, managed to win 3 championships by 23 and was now the sole face of his franchise, had recorded the greatest game of his career, 81 points.
It was more special to me than even the game itself. Was talking to Magic after the game. That meant more to me than the game itself, because I idolized him as a kid. And for him to call me and tell me what a great game it was and how proud of me he is, that meant more to me than the 81 points.
A scoring rampage that had no end in sight.
But he just got smarter and smarter, and he started understanding. He started playing, really the old cliche, he was playing chess while everybody else was playing checkers. He knew how you were going to try to guard me. He knew what plays you were going to try to run against him. He knew what plays he could run against you. He knew how to manipulate the defense. He knew how to get through double teams and how to shoot over them. He was a step ahead of everybody else.
Averaging an NBA leading 35.4 points for the season, recording 27 games with at least 40 and 6 with at least 50, all whilst leading his team to hold the 7th seed and being named to the All-NBA Defensive First Team. The Black Mamba's 2005-2006 season was perhaps the greatest single season by a player in NBA history. Also, if you agree or disagree with that statement, comment below. I'd love to know what you think. Maybe it's another player had a better season like James Harden or LeBron or someone. Let me know below. But none of that mattered to Kobe. The only thing on his mind was another NBA championship. But facing the second-seeded Phoenix Suns, could he even get past the first round? April 30th, 2006. 8 seconds remain. Phoenix ball. The Suns, at this stage, are almost guaranteed to be tying the series at 2 games each. Or are they?
Nash's hands, and they do. Ball knocked away, stolen by Parker. Here comes George to Kobe Bryant. Bryant inside, it's good! It's good! Tie game!
But in overtime, the Suns continued to try and escape their fate, and with 15.7 seconds left, they seemingly had.
Timeouts. Kobe Bryant going for the 2. Inside, quick score. So still plenty of time, a 1-point game. Bryant with the save.
Oh, you gotta get a shot here.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang!
However, this is where things started to turn in the opposite direction for not only Kobe, but the Lakers franchise. As with Phoenix exacting revenge in Game 5, resulting in Kobe going absolutely berserk during Game 6.
Kobe Bryant at the buzzer. Oh, he got it! Right between the eyes!
As he desperately tried to guide his Lakers into the next round.
Kobe for 3. But Bryant is on some kind of streak right now.
Had resulted in, despite Kobe Bryant's 50-point night,
Kobe. Oh, what a shot by Kobe Bryant!
In a final win or go home Game 7. Not only was the Black Mamba now 1 loss away from elimination, but media and fans had completely turned on him.
How would you assess what he did in Game 6, Charles?
It wasn't good for two reasons. Number one, if he shoots 35 times, that means they're not pounding the ball inside. Kwame Brown was 9 for 9. I think Lamar Odom was like 8 for 13. But what it does is he's shooting jumpers. You know, Doug had up there the keys to the game. Those 15 shots, even though he was 20 for 35, those 15 shots, they fueled the Suns' fast break. But also he had 7 turnovers. And that thing was, he can't shoot jumpers because they cannot beat the Suns if they try to run with the Suns.
So, during the final quarter of this must-win game, Bryant just refused to shoot, attempting only 3 field goals in the second half. A sudden shift which tragically saw Los Angeles being eliminated from title contention. But why, on the verge of moving on to the second round, did Kobe do this?
It worked for us in Game 4. I mean, we had a deficit in Game 4 that was tough to overcome, and that was one of those situations where I said, you know, I'm going to take over the game offensively and dominate this game. But I didn't do that because we knew that the strategy was to get everybody involved because that affects the defensive end of the floor. And we did that very well in Game 4. In fact, the shot that, you know, Devin George gave me a great pass on, the shot that I hit to send the game in overtime was my first basket of the whole fourth quarter. And we're a double-digit deficit the entire game, so.
While others had their own beliefs on the Lakers stars' motivations,
but I think it was to, in my opinion, proving the point to the coaching staff. Yeah.
Either believing it was done to spite his coaching staff or proving to the front office that he needed more help. 3 facts remained. Kobe was out of title contention. His rival, Steve Nash, was crowned as the league's MVP just days later, and his former running mate, Shaquille O'Neal, would win his 4th NBA championship. Maybe everyone was right. Perhaps Kobe couldn't actually win as a franchise's first option. Devastated from his failures, Kobe turned to his mentor, Michael Jordan, for advice.
I remember we had, you know, Michael Jordan's last All-Star game, and they had this beautiful ceremony for him at halftime, and you know, I had the honor to sit next to him during that process, and just looking at him, and they were showing all the highlights from when he first came into the NBA, and just kind of looking at him and just kind of sitting back and saying, wow, I mean, did it go by that fast for him? Like, what is he thinking about right now? Does it all seem like a blur? You know, so from that point on, I wanted to make sure that I appreciated every day, or tried to as much as possible.
And inspired by the words of his idol, Bryant looked to make a huge change moving into the 2006-2007 season, changing his number from 8 to 24.
About appreciating every moment for me, you know, because we've been through so much, and you know, as your career kind of, you know, I'm not an old man, but you know, you start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel is much brighter than the one at the beginning of the tunnel. So it's really about appreciating every day as it comes. You know, every game, every win, every loss, every practice. It's just soaking every day in, and that's what the number represents.
While his intense offseason training took a slight detour due to knee surgery, something else would occupy his time off.
By the way, congratulations on your second child.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
So what's the greatest thing about being a dad?
Oh man, it's it's a blast. From changing diapers, getting her to burp after you feed her, getting her to burp. That's always a challenge because she never seems to want to burp for me.
When is Kobe then happiest away from the basketball floor? We know it's winning on the floor.
Oh, that's it. When I'm with my girls.
Welcoming, alongside wife Vanessa, their second daughter, Gianna, into the world. However, as the 2006-2007 season tipped off, the Black Mamba reset his focus on first getting back into playing condition and then, but most importantly, on matching O'Neal's 4 championship rings.
Yeah, well, the thing that I'm afraid of is not winning another championship. That's the thing
That's a good fear,
that fears
right?
me. Yeah, I mean that really drives me.
November 30th, 2006. After beginning the season relatively slowly, only averaging 24.1 points, the 3-time champion was slowly refinding his feet during this battle against the Utah Jazz.
Shot gets the pick. Bryant to the rim. Whoa! Serving up a facial. Bryant putting moves on Kirilenko, who does not go for it. And Bryant with the jumper.
15 out of 21 for Kobe Bryant, 35 points. This is vintage Kobe.
Bryant for 3. Yes! 10 consecutive shots for Kobe Bryant. He has 45 points. Up on Bryant, who shoots over and scores! That's 11 straight. He's tied a franchise record with 30 in this third quarter. 52 points for Bryant.
With the Staples Center filling with MVP chants, number 24 was seemingly back in the same shape as number 8. Yet, with the return of the Black Mamba, those who made a career out of trying to stop him, such as Houston Rockets guard Shane Battier, were even hungrier for the challenge than ever before.
So I knew, statistically, what Kobe's worst shot was, and it was a shot off the bounce. Okay, he took a lot of long twos off the dribble. Okay, that's like he's like a 42% shooter. Okay, which is below league average actually. What makes him legendary is finishing, his foul drawing, his through throws. Actually, decent 3-point shooter, but off the bounce was his worst shot. And so I said to myself, the only chance I have against this guy is to try to make him take as many dribble jump shots as I can. Okay, so when I started sticking my hand in the face, I also knew Kobe had a bigger ego than anybody, and he would go out of his way to show that the hand in the face
don't matter.
It don't matter. It doesn't affect me. What's the only way that he can prove to me that this doesn't work?
Let you do it and just keep on doing.
The shot off the bounce.
Yeah.
So he was doing me a favor by trying to prove me wrong that my theory didn't work, which I was more than happy to let him try to do.
But Battier's intense defensive focus was pointless, with Kobe scoring a shocking 53 points and Los Angeles' record standing at a hugely improved 16 wins and 7 losses. Perhaps this was the season Bryant was actually going to do it, because after hearing MVP chants in TD Garden, the arena of the Lakers' long-standing rival, the Boston Celtics, after he dropped 43 points on their heads, everything was finally going right for Kobe. Or was it? March 16th, 2007. Los Angeles' record has been in freefall. As the Lakers stepped onto their home court, they were now just 1 loss away from sitting at 500 and being completely out of postseason contention. Therefore, the Black Mamba knew what he had to do.
Kobe does it again. 3-point deficit. Kobe's got every point the Lakers have scored here. Out with Lamar. Finding Kobe beyond the arc again. And again comes through in the clutch. 1-point game, 96-95. Now Kobe for the tie. Got it! Did it again!
But Bryant's insane 56-point regulation performance wasn't enough to push them over the line. So he just kept going.
Here's double. Kobe
Hard to believe.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
Adding in an extra 9 points and a Laker victory as he exited Staples Center not only victorious, but having scored the second highest point total of his career, 65, a night that sparked a record-breaking streak.
Kobe has 48. Kobe has 50. He's done it. 4 straight games, 50 or more points. Only the second player in NBA history to ever accomplish that.
Not only had Bryant managed to drop 4 50 or more point games in a row, second only to Wilt Chamberlain, but another 50-point bomb on the Sonics at the end of the season and 37 against the Sacramento Kings in their final regular season game had thankfully secured the Lakers a ticket into the postseason. However, yet again facing the Phoenix Suns, Kobe Bryant's heroic efforts were meaningless. Their only victory in this short series came thanks to the Black Mamba's 45-point effort in Game 3, and without clear direction from his franchise after being eliminated in just 5 games, Kobe was ready for change. Yet, while he did request a trade, the Lakers would never let that happen. Halfway through the 2007-2008 season, Los Angeles would find their missing piece, versatile Spanish big man Pau Gasol. Kobe and Pau immediately connected, forming a deadly dynamic duo, which saw Bryant finally win his first and only MVP trophy before unfortunately being defeated by the Boston Celtics on the highest stage of the NBA. Yet, as always, this failure only served as motivation for Kobe. He would return and not only win his 4th NBA championship in the 2008-2009 season, but avenge their defeat against the Celtics by achieving back-to-back titles in the 2010 season, earning him a single ring more than his former teammate.
No, I'm happy I have 5 and he has 4.
While Kobe Bryant failed to match or eclipse his idol's 6 championship rings, he became much like Jordan in his final years in the league, mentoring many young players, both male and female, before delivering perhaps the most epic final game of any player's career, scoring 60 as he left the NBA a 5-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP, and 1-time MVP.
Mamba out.
The Black Mamba would then spend his retirement dominating everything he touched, whether that was business, creative work, or just coaching his daughter, Gianna. A bright future was on the horizon for the former NBA megastar. However, on January 26, 2020, that was all taken away from him.
Kobe never left anything on the court. And I think that's what he would want for us to do. No one knows how much time we have. That's why we must live in the moment. We must enjoy the moment. We must reach and see and spend as much time as we can with our families and friends and the people that we absolutely love. To live in the moment means to enjoy each and every one that we come in contact with. When Kobe Bryant died, a piece of me died. And as I look in this arena and across the globe, a piece of you died, or else you wouldn't be here. Please rest in peace, little brother.